Hey everybody, it's PartyElite. Welcome back to our Dark Heresy beta gameplay miniseries, where we've just been given a litany of things to do by our new patron, the Lord Inquisitor Zerb. It might be Zerby, I'm too afraid to ask, so Zerb is what we're sticking with. Regardless, he's given us a veritable laundry list of things to take care of, and I think we start with assembling a warband. If we're going to get into shenanigans, I think it's a good idea to have some people to get into those shenanigans with. So, our instructions here are quite clear. The acolyte must assemble a warband to prepare for upcoming missions. Agreed. Acolytes Hamar Devos, Epion Spez, and Sorrow are located within the Bastion Serpentis. We can find them across various parts of this bastion. Hopefully it won't take us too long and won't cause us too much trouble, but I do see that there is another sanctioned psyker that'll be joining us. Now, I'm not sure if the world's big enough for two of us, but we'll figure it out once we get there. First things first, though, I suppose, is maybe to take a look actually at our inventory and make sure we're in good shape before we start engaging with the greater world out there. And it does look like there's quite a few things that we maybe want to take advantage of. For example, this cloak that increases our defense by 3. Yes, I will absolutely put that on. I was hoping it would actually be red, but I'll take it. And then we've got some awareness goggles to increase our awareness by 10. Don't mind if I do. Absolutely, thank you. And otherwise, we've got some weaker armor here, though it does have arm guard. The wearer cannot suffer critical effects to the arms. The fact that it mentions that you can suffer critical effects to the arms in the first place is intriguing to me. But otherwise, it looks like we haven't actually worn this mantle of the immaterium that we were given in the previous episode. And now I realize that the description here is not, in fact, a typo. It was just simply me misunderstanding. So, the wearer deals plus 20% more damage while using abilities granted by the equipped staff. It expects you to have a staff equipped as opposed to the guns that we've been carrying, right? The stub revolver and the sword. And we do, in fact, have a staff available to us, the Staff of Flames. 8 to 10 damage. It gives us a melee attack, which does what for us? 10 to 13 damage in a 1 cell radius. This weapon deals plus willpower bonus more damage directly to wounds. Okay, interesting. And it also gives us access to spontaneous combustion. Also in a, in a 10 cell radius. This one, 8 to 10 damage, dealing plus willpower bonus more damage directly to wounds. Cool. And again, a couple of modifiers to the recipient's end over here. The target must pass a metal test or suffer X amount levels of burning. If the target is not burning, it automatically fails the test. Oh my goodness. Oh, cool. Okay, so we're definitely going to throw this on because it's kind of in keeping with our character, right? Also looks very baller. And we'll have as a second set, I suppose, our stub revolver and sword combination. Oh, is that a different? That's a claymore. Excuse me? Holy, what? That looks so sick. Oh, I just noticed the goggles too. Now our eyebrows stick through them a little bit, but don't mind that. This is pretty sick. What? Oh my, 10 to 14 damage, plus 6 vitals damage. Interesting. Interesting. Now, we've also got a bolt pistol here. 4 damage, guaranteed apparently, plus 4 extra wounds damage. Why are we walking around with a stub revolver and a sword? And then we've got a sniper rifle over here, a shotgun, a las gun, and what's this? An auto gun. Okay, so this must be for our full party, right? Nonetheless, let's go for the bolt pistol, I suppose. I'm kind of maybe regretting having leaned towards our ballistic skill as opposed to the weapon skill. I didn't realize I was going to start with a claymore. But yes, let us also carry a sword so that in a worst case scenario where we're equipped for all sorts of circumstances. And if we take a look at the armor over here, the flak armor has better durability and damage reduction, while the mantle of the immaterium makes our staff more powerful. Let's go ahead and stick with the flak armor we have on for now, just in case. Let's get used to some of the back and forth and how it looks before we strip ourselves of armor, I guess, is what I'm thinking. And otherwise, what's this? The Inquisitorial Sigil that we just got from our new master. Alright, this all looks good to me. We have leveled up, I believe, as well. So if we take a look at the character screen over here, rather if we click this, it should hopefully take us to an upgrade screen. What are my options? Choose a skill and an ability. Fair enough. Athletics, non-combat skill affects jumping, climbing, and the application of force for utilitarian purposes. Sorry. Actually, before I go on, I should mention, folks, there are probably timestamps down below if you'd like to skip past all this character management stuff. Just as a quick note for you, I tend to include timestamps anytime I feel there might be those kinds of segments to the video. Anyway, tenacity. This combat skill aids in overcoming physical restraints, immobilization, and other debilitating conditions. Resistance. Combat skill represents the body's ability to resist harmful effects, improving chances of avoiding being poisoned by toxins and crippled by critical effects. Demolition, which we already have in spades as far as the skill is concerned. This non-combat skill represents the ability to use various explosive devices and can affect the damage of Imperium-made grenades and explosives. I should point out, though the game is pointing out for me, I guess, where this number is coming from, right? Our agility is adding 30, the fact that we have pyromancy is adding 10, and the fact that we're from volcanicity as our origin is adding another 10. Mobility over here, meanwhile, is based off of our agility, which is just 30, and so mobility is also 30. This non-combat skill defines one's bodily dexterity, contortion, and balance. Reflexes enables evading potential threats and dangerous areas, additionally improving one's chances of avoiding bleeding. Okay, so right now that sounds very good. This is a combat skill, and I like the sound of it. Sleight of hand enables thieving skills such as pickpocketing and lockpicking. And we've got a few lores over here. Lore of Heresy. Non-combat skill reflects one's knowledge of any phenomena, individual, or event related to heresy. Then similar to non-human elements. And then, wow, we got 60 on this. Non-combat skill reflects one's knowledge of any phenomena, individual, or event related to warp and psychic powers. I mean, we're already pretty good over here. Do we double down on something we're good at, or do we upgrade something we're, falling behind on? Tech use is a non-combat skill allowing for interfacing with and utilizing technological devices, additionally improving the effectiveness of repair kits. Awareness is used to avoid ambushes, find stashes, and notice hidden details. Our high perception is helping us so much. Wits over here reflects our common sense and receptiveness to new information. We already succeeded in one of these roles. Interrogation facilitates the acquisition of useful information by any means necessary. I like the sound of this. Metal is a combat skill, allowing us to resist hostile mental influence. Intimidation enables the use of coercive tactics to compel others to align with one's intentions. Okay. Diplomacy allows us to exert subtle manipulation and influence over others. And then Medicae, it helps us save lives and restore wounds. Lots of interesting choices here. I'm kind of tempted to pick up Diplomacy. It's a different kind of diplomacy. It's not highbrow nobility diplomacy, but it's, the kind of smarmy, charming scoundrel diplomacy. Like, would I call Han Solo diplomatic? No, but he is able to exert subtle manipulation and influence over others, I think, right? Sometimes not so subtle, sometimes not so successfully, but, it's that charm, right? So I lean towards diplomacy. Everything else feels like everywhere else that I would invest points feels pretty well rounded just because of our attributes, our characteristics, I should say, rather, that we invested in during character creation. So yeah, a bit of diplomacy I think might be a good idea. And I cannot recall if each upgrade just adds 5. This, we can see what we get every step of the way as we level up. Cool. So we also get access to an ability here. Pyromancy's Blaze Weaver. Every burning unit in combat has its burning level increased by 5 plus Veil Degradation divided by 2. Then those units immediately suffer an additional instance of burning. Jeez. Molten Beam. This psychic power targets all units in a 5-cell line with a beam of searing flame, dealing 10 plus target's level of burning damage. All affected units must pass a reflexes test with a negative 10 penalty or suffer 4 times Veil Degradation additional damage to their armor durability. There's a lot of math in the abilities and attacks and stuff when it comes to Dark Heresy and Rogue Trader too. So if people are already burning, then Molten Beam does even more damage to them. Okay. But Blaze Weaver relies on people already burning as well. Okay, fair enough. Then there's Telekinesis, Telekinetic Barrier. Until the start of the Psyker's next turn, the target unit gains +4 damage reduction and +4 armor durability. So we can assign that to any one of our allies as well. One friendly creature in unlimited range, as you can see at the top there. And then there's Telekinesis, Telekinetic Dome, which means the Psyker concentrates on creating a telekinetic dome on the battlefield with a 4-cell radius, lasting until the end of combat or until the Psyker decides to move the dome to another area. All units inside the dome gain +4 defense against ranged attacks from outside the dome's area of effect. So the telekinetic barrier works against melee attacks as well, but for one individual, whereas the dome works for everybody solely against ranged attacks happening from outside the dome's area of effect. Okay, cool. I think it's rather obvious that the first pick has to be a pyromancy pick, and the Molten Beam just sounds super cool. All creatures within the area of effect within a 5-cell radius will be hit with this, again, straight line beam of searing flames. Because, yeah, even if people aren't on fire, this will still deal at least 10 damage to them. And then potentially have their armor durability reduced. Yep, this also a Molten Beam just sounds cool. So we're going to go ahead with that. We've picked up our skill, Diplomacy. We've picked up our ability, the Molten Beam. Let's go ahead and apply and enter on into level 2. Nice. Let's move on. I was wondering if we go over all the details of our character sheet right now, but honestly, we've already spent the last 10 minutes on these, and I want to start assembling the party. So let's move on to that, and I'm sure we'll come across some of those details later, and there'll be something we have to actually engage with and use and interact with, and we'll talk about them at that stage. Again, I try to balance kind of talking about various mechanics for 30 minutes at a time, and and actually engaging with the mechanics and playing the game. Can I leave, please? I'd like to leave, please. Oh, there we go. A little awkward, but fair enough. Out we go. All right, looking good. Looking good. For a moment, I was very concerned that we were stuck in that room, and I was missing some critical interaction. But Blind the Aide here seems to be following me. What do you want, buddy? Master Acolyte. I could get a bit more information out of him. Stop shadowing me. Go do something useful instead. I guess I don't mind him following me. Could be of some use, who knows. But I don't think I'd have much to say to him, so let's move on. Are you leading me, or am I leading you? I'm not 100% sure. Okay. Alright, he's leaving. No, okay, he's following. Where are we trying to go? I guess we go out this way. Gotta use our sigil to gain access. But presumably that's where all of our future allies are, right? Let's take a look at the journal here. One's in the Medicaid wing, one is... So 2 in the Medicaid wing, and 1 in the chapel. Easy enough. Please let me through. In the name of the God Emperor we guard. Indeed we do. What do we have over here? The ancient walls of the Bastion Serpentis could not bear the weight of time, and eventually collapsed upon the heads of its inhabitants. So there's going to be a lot of little, things to investigate and explore. Some things are going to be lore bits and bobs. Some things are going to be puzzles off to the side, things that we don't necessarily have to engage with but can choose to. I'm basing some of these statements off of my experience with Rogue Trader and the general kind of, again, Owlcat vibe, right? There's a lot of stuff going on around us that we can come upon, and some of that will be based on our awareness checks. What do we have going on over here? A little sus. It's extra sus if they don't let me through. Okay. Immediately drawn in by this cultish procession. Latent psykers. What do we got going on over here? Talking about stuff that we might not need to engage with, and... Okay, and torturous screams. Oh, God. You were found amid 100 corpses. Among them, your entire platoon, along with dozens of heretics. How do you explain this? Folks, what have we stumbled upon? I swear on my homeworld, the God Emperor himself preserved me. He appeared to me in golden radiance and turned the bullets aside. When we saw those psykers outside, I knew there'd be trouble. And why would the God Emperor save a guardsman from a penal colony? No. Something else is at work here. Penal company. I guess I can engage with this. Oh, okay, no. Okay, there's just something happening in the world that I can, as I said, come upon. It's cool that the world feels kind of living and breathing in this way, but you know what? That's not our business. That is not our business. We have our own work to do. We've got an assignment from a very important person. We should perhaps be careful and wary of where we stick our nose, right? We roll up this way. What is this, a fighting pit? What are they doing down here, man? There's like no sense of decorum. Well, here, everything's the same. Acolytes let off steam, hone their skills. Oh, but I forgot about that Salvar madman who likes breaking people's bones. Someone ought to put him in his place. Blind, have you been talking to me and I've just been walking away from you repeatedly?
Reconnoitering.
Whoops. Is this our chapel? Or have I stumbled upon a back room over here? Already feeling the maze-like vibe of this place. I mean, what's it called again? Isn't it called like Serpentine or Serpentis or something? Nonetheless, our awareness check over here spotted these goods for us. Before I engage with that, though, I'm going to take a look at this. Practice basic combat techniques. Requires a melee weapon. I'm good. I don't need to practice basic combat techniques. I'm alright. Famous last words, right? Sleight of hand will allow me to crack this thing open. Can only be used once. I'm the best character for this action right now. I could use a multi-key if I had one available, or a Melta charge if I had one available. But let's roll the dice literally on 55% chance of success, right? Let's go for it. What do you know? Some sealed hermetic infusions and some synths, which looks like money to me. So let's go ahead and grab that and keep exploring. No one important here. Potentially a character we can engage with in the full version of the game. Who knows? I'm just going to make my way out then. I've accidentally stumbled upon a torture chamber and a fighting pit. We're off to a great start. I'm going to go ahead and try and go back to where I came from. Where have I found myself? This is... because I can't go through here. Alright, so let's pull back up. I guess I follow those guys down these stairs. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I think I found my way. Oh. Like an echo from the past, or the future, the reality before you has taken shape, absorbing emotions that had been frozen in oblivion. Oh, okay. Something's afoot. Clutching your head, you try to calm the pain that is tearing your sanity to pieces. Your heart is pounding. You are short of breath. And the vague figures, either a vision or the agonized illusions of a dying consciousness, play out the same scene in your mind, over and over again. Blind looks anxiously at your face. Master Acolyte, are you all right? Are you feeling dizzy? I have a stimulant, and we're not far from the infirmary. So either I can let him know that I'm seeing things, or I can beg him for help, or I can engage with my illusions, touch the figures from the vision, or simply peer at them. Can't go wrong with a bit of touching, right? Let's go for it. Your hand passes through the blurry silhouettes, and a wave of hopelessness and bitterness, emotions that once belonged to someone else and at some other time, rolls over you. One killed the other, fired a bolter right into the back of the victim's head, and felt regret. This is neither a dream nor a fiction. It definitely happened, right here. But how do you know that? You just know it, and feel it. It is something natural. Though not so before, it is now a part of you, something that came with the Tyrant Star's curse. You are unable to control it, and it brings torment to your body and mind. But if this is now an integral part of you, then perhaps one day you will find a way to turn this power to your advantage. Oh, that's cool. So pretty early on, we can pray to the God Emperor and banish the phantasm, and realize that this is not okay, this is not normal, or, open our mind to this new experience. We could use this potentially to our advantage in the future. Again, as an acolyte of the Inquisition, I am an investigator. I investigate things, and sometimes being able to get a glimpse into the past or the future, whatever this might be, could be of assistance. So I will open my mind to this new experience. You relax, allowing the pain to pass through you, and with it, you are filled with someone else's emotions. Anger at an unjust command, fear at the necessity of carrying out the sentence, resignation that it must be done. Over time, the pain subsides, the emotions dissolve, and the vision disappears with them. Very intriguing, and it looks like these might be related things to investigate. So, yeah, let's do it. If I may. There we go. The pile of the ancient carpet glistens with a faint stain left there by a cleansing agent. Anything more to say? No? Very well. And here? Fresh bolter fire scars blemish the ancient masonry. So this is... okay. I guess this is introducing us to this mechanic in this system, perhaps? We can inspect this as a roll on our wits, which we've succeeded. There's a strange recess in the polished niche. You make out... well, that moved too quickly for me. You make out two symmetrical pits with a bump underneath, and below that, what looks like the imprint of a jaw in the shape of a grotesque smile frozen into the stone. Not sure exactly what this is referring to. Oh, I can interact with it. Fair enough. I think... Alt does not highlight all interactables. I'll take a look at that later. But you can see how we've gained a bit of experience by even just rolling a success here. So it encourages us to engage with these things in the environment. Let's go ahead and interact, and hopefully not bring doom down upon us. No suitable items. Very well. Let's not interact. Blind's like, buddy, what are you doing? Can we get a move on? I'm guessing it's a similar situation over here. Yeah. We'll come back to this. Like I said earlier, puzzles to solve and whatnot, but for now, let's make our way out and see if we can't find our friends, right? Before we get into too much trouble. There we go. The last few cycles have been a great test for the servants of the Tyrantine Cabal. War bands are losing one acolyte after another. The infirmary is overcrowded, but there are even more who cannot be saved at all. I suppose you could call that a test. Sounds like a punishment to me, but is that all you've got to say? I wish these could be skipped a bit more directly, especially since they're not voice acted right now. Oh man, these guys all look miserable. I guess we make our way down here and see if we can't find our two future friends. What do we got back here? door. Engine seer here. Servitor. Oh, well, we got another acolyte in here. What's going on here? I can analyze their condition. Our Medicaid isn't that bad, so that's good. I can grant him the Emperor's peace. Is that suggesting we kill him? Or I can examine? Let's do a quick examination first. It hurts. It hurts. I'm burning up inside. I beg you, kill me. He wishes to die. Let's analyze his condition.
Resolved.
A sensation of inner burning accompanied by delirium about melting bones and organs, a cyanotic complexion, and unquenchable thirst. These are all symptoms of smolder fever, a disease of the lower levels of hive Sibelius that, with proper treatment, usually subsides within a few days. He'll be fine then. He'll be fine then. We got some goods to pick up over here, potentially. A handwritten note. Inform all Medicaid on this shift and the next, and this is important, to keep the acolyte conscious until the upcoming interrogation. Fatality is unacceptable. This is an order from Interrogator C. It's best not to argue with her. So I could ruin these orders by finishing this guy off, I suppose, but we're not gonna, we're not gonna get involved with that. What's going on over here? Our awareness is working really nicely for us. The Disease Observation Journal. Not gonna read over every little thing we click on, otherwise we're not gonna make any progress ever. Now, what I'm not sure of is if I do get caught cracking this thing open, do I get in trouble? One way to find out, I guess. Now I'm picking that up. And no one seems to have an issue with it. Great. Excellent. Got some books. Again, I'm not trying to collect everything here. Let's keep moving. And see if we, again, can't find our friends, right? No entry allowed until the circumstances surrounding the agent's death have been determined. I can't let you through. Where am I trying to go here? Well, there's the chapel. There's Sarrow. This is the infirmary. Oh, there's this door here that I forgot about, eh? Yeah, seems to be the case. Seems to be the case. Alright, I'm glad I came back. Holy, this looks like a hot mess. Anything else interesting going on? Nope. There we go. Tab is the button I was looking for earlier, highlighting all things that can be investigated, such as this poor dying man.
Effective as always.
The acolyte is pale, his breath barely perceptible. Yet despite the horrific wounds, the Bastion's Medicaid have managed to tear him from death's grasp. Good. Now, let's go ahead and speak to our friends here. Epione, I think? Let's see what she's got to say. Our colleague here, pausing her examination of the soldier's prosthetic, the white-clad Medicaid looks you over with a piercing gaze. I understand that, in light of the events in the Grand Hall, our unspoken compact of fellowship demands that I offer some words of support. Our colleague is here. Can't read. And then the game presents me with a word I've never been able to say. The Churigan's eyes scan your face. The scalpel claw affixed to her hand tenses with a screech before she looks away. When she speaks again, her tone is notably colder. However, all of the accusations leveled at our warband were justified. We lost an Inquisitor and demonstrated a lamentable lack of competence. Don't start. Did we or did we not retrieve that thing from Schultes' valor? The mission was accomplished, and the Cabal agrees. The Tyrrell knew the risks when he decided to lead the warband personally, and he paid the price for his lack of focus. Amar's keen eyes settle on you. You didn't come here just to talk, did you, Partilius? Amar and Epione turn their eyes to the aide beside you, and the young man instinctively steps back, Ah, my name's Blind, and I'm an aide stationed under Quartermaster Numis, at your service. I suppose we'll be working together? Or maybe not. In any case, pay me no mind. What's everyone's status? Lord Inquisitor Anton Zerb granted me his patronage and tasked me with assembling a warband to carry out a mission. Or I can simply walk away and not get involved. No. Let's not waste any time. Lord Inquisitor Anton Zerb granted me his patronage and tasked me with assembling a warband to carry out a mission. Amar lets out a low whistle. Not bad. And you want us to work for you now? Could be worse. You strike me as someone who knows how to prioritize. Epione's hands freeze above the prosthetic. You notice a barely perceptible tremor in her plasteel claws. I must request a deferral in the execution of this assignment. At present, I have more urgent tasks to attend to. So I can use my intimidation, my wits, or my Medicaid to help the situation along. This is not a request, it's an order from the Lord Inquisitor, and your opinion holds no sway over it. That's a little too aggressive, I think, for this guy. We cannot succeed in this mission without your exceptional intellect and medical knowledge. Okay? Little, smoke blowing. Or Medicaid. We are being sent to the lower hive. I'm certain there will be much for a physician of your caliber to study there. I mean, this not only has the highest likelihood of success, but, it also feels like the kind of, thing this guy would say to convince somebody. It's like, you're better than this. We need you down there instead, Doc. Yeah. We're being sent to the lower hive. I am certain there will be much for a physician of your caliber to study there. Appeal to their profession, their curiosity. And succeed. Could have still failed that. I deem that assumption substantiated. The Churigan makes a couple of notes on a data slate. Furthermore, this assignment, ultimately, coincides with my own. But that is of no consequence. Acolyte Partilius, I am Epione Spes, Medicae Acolyte reporting to you. I stand ready to execute any reasonable order, provided it does not endanger humanity or the Imperium. Amar simply nods at you. Amar Davos, at your service. Very well. Is there anything you need to prepare before we set off? The Katakan slaps the scabbard strapped to his intact leg. All set, Commander. When do we move out? I would recommend visiting the Quartermaster before departure to replenish our supply of Medicaid kits. Yeah, not a bad idea. But we do also need to collect one more member for the warband. A psyker named Sorrow. Epione's face darkens. Another psyker? As we have had occasion to witness, the presence of such an individual poses a significant danger to the entire group. I don't think she's gonna like me when she finds out. Just stand clear when he explodes, Hamar flashes a grin. Or when he makes others explode. A most sensible recommendation, Hamar. I shall endeavor to follow it. It is unclear from Epione's tone whether this is sarcasm or a genuine intention. Nonetheless, I'll let them know of the situation at hand, and then we'll go ahead and pick up Sorrow. We have two assignments, one in the lower hive, in the Maris Portum Sectoris Hab Zone, the other in the Spires of Sibyllus. Any thoughts on which we should handle first? Amar's eyebrows rise slightly. We're heading to the Spires without an Inquisitor? Can't wait to see the looks on those polished faces when they see us. A coincidence of remarkable timeliness. Ignoring Hamar's surprised look, Epione continues. The fact is, I was just preparing to file a request to visit that particular lower hive hab zone as part of a research team. I will elaborate further once we have concluded discussing the assignment. Now, ready to go? Hamar cracks his neck. Time to stretch our legs. He says twice, and cracks his neck twice. Once for each side, right? Good stuff. There's our party. Nobody else has leveled up or anything, but if we want to, we can take a look at sort of their equipment and stuff. I'm trying to figure out if I want to get bogged down with that right now, or if we'll just kind of deal with it when we get into combat for the first time, right? What do we got down over here? Oh, she's carrying a flamer. Okay. I'm glad I looked at that at least. And that is a two-handed piece of equipment, if I'm not mistaken. He also has a toxin grenade. And Medicaid kit. Very well. Her second set is a shotgun. So our equipment does not need to be passed on to our party members. Fair enough, fair enough. Otherwise, we also have here Amar. Gonna have to practice their names a little bit. Ooh, outfit settings. Cool. Didn't notice that earlier. So you can stick to the default appearance of the character rather than have their equipment actually make an impact. Holy, this guy's got a heavy stubber. All right, top contender for favorite so far: frag grenade, Medicaid kit, and Amar's knife. You call that a knife? I've got, you know, what if I give you one of these? What do the stats look like? Ballistic skill primarily. Fair enough, no surprise there. And then the Pione, leaning ballistic skill, but yeah, probably focusing on keeping everybody alive, I guess. Yeah. 10 plus Medicaid divided by 3. So you can do 31 wounds, and I can do 25. Okay, definitely our primary Medicaid. Nonetheless, that's this all taken care of. Let's make our way to Sorrow, I suppose. Just trying to see if there is anything else to check out over here first. I guess we could go through these doors. Oh, just corpses. At least one to inspect. Maybe a conversation to be had here, we'll see. The corpse of a psyker, burned out by the sorcerer's own power. The eyes are scorched, yet they still seem to observe the surroundings. This feels like a warning. I don't know. Every person I've interacted with, it all feels like a warning. Listen in. Oh, wow, we can actually eavesdrop. Saint's blood. Delios. What do we do now? It happened again. How many times is that now? The 10th in the past 2 cycles? What sort of a bastard do you have to be to steal from your deceased brothers and sisters? What's missing this time? The cranial augmetic. We were supposed to remove it and hand it over to the priests of the machine cult, but now... You know, some acolytes have been using auspexes to search for still functional implants. Perhaps we could ask someone for... Absolutely not. I dread to even think what the Chirurgeon Majoris will do to us if he finds out we've been hiding the disappearances of the deceased's personal property. No, no, no. It's better if we just pretend we didn't have a clue. Let's go. Sooner or later, the guards will catch the culprit and everything will be fine. Bertilius, did you hear all that? There's no question the Medicae set themselves up by not reporting the disappearances right away. On the other hand, I've always dreamed of seeing the Servo Ossuarium at work. Maybe we could help them find the implant, Maybe. Maybe. Track the augmetic signal. Getting sidetracked. But we've assembled a bit of a crew, right? And we're here now. Can I really help myself? Does this guy look like he can help himself? Not entirely sure about that. Also, it probably helps for us to engage with these mechanics here, where it's relatively safe. You're searching for something. I guess you're going to follow me. Okay, I see. So you'll follow me around and help scan the area for something. What is this? Goods? That's one way to label it, I guess. Can I use telekinesis to bring him down? Alright. So this, I guess, is like a Geiger counter. Helping measure proximity. Getting colder out here. Warmer over here. Can I open these? Yes, I can.
Keeping my eyes open.
I see. Can we hop across? Get everybody up here. Yes, we can. And there is some brawler armor. Okay. Need somebody with heavy armor proficiency to use it, but don't mind if I do. Well, that's not the solution to our problem. Wish I had a bit more instruction on how to use this. Vox frequency tracking mode. Alright, might be outside and somewhere else. Nonetheless, let's stay on task and maybe we'll happen upon the answer to this question at the same time. We're now trying to get to the... Oh, hang on a second. There we go. There we go. Getting hotter. Yeah, I'm guessing we just have to go outside, maybe. Unless the thief is somewhere up here. Oh, he's through here, isn't he? The door is shut tight. The script upon it forms the words, nearly erased by time. Fair enough. I assume he's not going to let me through. Alright. It seems like we gotta go that way, but it's locked off for the time being, so we'll come back to this investigation later, I suppose. I guess we have to. Now the question is when slash... Yeah. When or what makes this thing close? Or, hang on a second. Nope. Just gotta go up this way, it seems. We'll find our answer soon enough. Heading this way. Oh, getting colder. Perhaps it's beneath us? Takes us back to the Lord Inquisitor. He's the one stealing. Hang on, it did go back up though. Yeah, okay, it might be below us. Let's go ahead and find our friend here. Sorrow. Let me through. Welcome back, acolyte, he says. Decontamination. A messenger from Inquisitor Van Vuyen happened to be infected with some kind of xenofilth. It escaped the poor fellow's body and was running around the chapel vaults until it was taken out. Oh, well, that's interesting.
Never still for long.
Bunch of acolytes. Nothing of particular. Sister Helena. Named character. Might be something interesting here. Or not. Onwards we go. The other way. Up and out. I do wonder how we can close this, you know? Scavenger is the name of that that quest. We'll deal with it later. Let's go get Sorrow first. An abode of spirit and tranquility. You may not have heard yet, but a detachment of the Adepta Sororitas, led by Sister Septima, has taken up residence in the Bastion, though she herself is currently away on a mission. And if that's not hinting at the sister showing up at some point, I don't know what would be. Some preachers, some acolytes, some sisters of battle up top, and a place to sit and pray, perhaps? We can listen to the sermon. Sure. Why not? Take your place among the faithful, and do not hinder the service until it is finished. Bow your heads and temper your spirits. Guard against fear through service, for battle scars are the sacred marks of duty. Go on. Pray to him not for salvation, but for endurance. For they who stand with humanity to the very end are already saved by him. Oh, okay, that's it. Very well. Sorrow, where are you at, buddy? Off to the side there. There we go. Time for a little chat. A slight, wiry man stands before the wall of memory, his gaze tracing the endless lines of script in quiet reverence. After a long moment, he turns toward you, His piercing blue eyes seem to glow faintly. Do you seek something, acolyte? Are you Sorrow, the sanctioned psyker? The man nods slowly. Indeed, and you are PartyElite, one of those who returned from the perilous journey to the Owlcat system. The God Emperor has granted you his mercy, a rare and precious thing. I am pleased to make your acquaintance. Either I could speak to his prayer that I supposedly overheard. I could call him a cursed sorcerer, but that'd be the pot calling the kettle black. Or I can tell him I was tasked with finding you and recruiting you for my warband. The Tyrantine Cabal has entrusted me with a mission. So, the Tyrantine Cabal has deemed you righteous and restored you to the ranks of its servants? I had thought that contact with the Heresy of the Tyrant Star would have rendered you an outcast. Sorrow casts a glance at the memorial stand, where a plaque bearing Leander de Taral's name has already been placed. Too many of those sent to Iocanthos have perished in the depths of corruption. My only solace is that for one of them, Persephone, my sister by curse, a swift death became a bitter gift, sparing her the dreadful torment of survival. But that lies in the past, and now a new duty awaits us. I heed the Cabal's command, and stand ready to accompany you to face new trials. Well, I did not overhear the prayer myself as a player, so I will not refer to it. I'm obviously, again, not calling him an object of blasphemy. Were you and Persephone close? Sounds like a rude thing to say. They don't seem to be on friendly terms, even though one has passed. What kind of psyker are you? What sorcery do you command? Yeah. That would be my brand of not suspicion, but curiosity. I need to know what I'm working with here. When the God Emperor's grace fills my heart, I give it form in purifying flame. Sorrow's eyes flare with fire, a fearsome contrast to the psyker's placid expression. I am the conduit of his higher wrath, which reduces his enemies to ash and burns away the heresy that has taken hold of the weak and the lost. Epione quickly types something into her data slate, glancing disapprovingly at the psyker. Noticing your look, she shrugs. I took the liberty of drafting a request for an increased allotment of burn ointment for our team. You know what, that's entirely reasonable. Sorrow smiles faintly. A commendable precaution, though somewhat excessive. But the God Emperor knows his own, and shall judge them accordingly. So I guess we have kind of similar leanings. We're both, I was going to say pyromaniacs, pyromancers. Now you're suspiciously well informed about me. A hint of slyness touches Sorrow's smile. Rumors spread easily among those permitted within these walls. Besides, I'm often consulted on the nature of the warp and psychic ability. Your return and your painful experience in particular are of great consequence to the Bastion Serpentis than you seem to realize. Greater consequence, sorry. And yeah, there you go, the Bastion Serpentis. That's why it's so serpentine and maze-like, I suppose. Very well. We must go, Sorrow. I could opt not to take him in my team, but let's go. He is a liability, but I guess so am I in some ways, and hey, there's two of us now, which maybe makes me feel just a bit better about myself. The God Emperor protects us, PartyElite. Take the gun cutter into your service as a part of assembling the warband? What's this now? Blind goes on, I suppose. I'll leave you to it, Master Acolyte. I hope my escort made your return to the Bastion a little brighter, and that I wasn't too intrusive. The aide smiles and gives a slight shrug. You were great, Blind. Since I am assigned to Quartermaster Numis, and he is now assigned to your warband, it seems we will see each other often. I'm at your service at any time. Blind makes the sign of the Aquila. The Emperor protects, Acolyte PartyElite. Very well. Now, what is this update, sorry? Take the gun cutter into your service. After taking critical damage on Iocanthos, the gun cutter verdict has been restored by the servants of the machine cult. The Acolyte must head to Terminal Lachesis Omega and find the pilot Yermis Haas aboard the gun cutter. Orientation point. The elevator in the southern part of the Bastion Serpentis past the atrium. Well, we've got the crew together. Let's see if we can't get our ship as well. The elevator in the southern part of the Bastion Serpentis past the atrium. I mean, presuming this is oriented in that way, we should head down here. I love that you can actually give commands through this map as well. And you can hear the little thing go off too.
Reconnoitering.
Is this where we wish to go? What are you all looking at? Oh, this must be the new artifact that we brought in. An unnatural cold. One that pierces to the bone, emanates from the container holding the Oraculum Noxus. Yeah, that's the thing we brought. Talked briefly about it in the previous episode. Very briefly. Let's see. This looks like the way forward. Ah, once we go out of range, that shuts down. Very well. That's good to know. Now I see no elevator here. Oh no, there we go. To Terminal Lachesis Omega. Alright. Let's see if we can't find... Well, there's our quartermaster. Suppose I could speak with him first. And a successful sleight of hand here might unlock something interesting for us. What happens if we fail? We didn't. So we get some money, fair enough. It's the one item in there, some more goods back there. What does the quartermaster have to say, actually, if anything? The quartermaster is cross-referencing something on a long scroll with contents of a hefty, hardbound book. Noting your approach, he rolls up the parchment. Quartermaster Numis, warranted by the Inquisition, has arrived at the Acolyte's base of operations. His cold voice rattles off the hearsed words. And now the formalities are out of the way. You are just in time, Acolyte. I didn't even have to send a Vox message. There is a certain issue regarding our potential allies on Scintilla that requires attending. By order of the Lord Inquisitor, it falls to you to deal with it. That is, unless you have more urgent concerns. Numis's tone leaves no room for doubt. For someone of your standing, there can be no matter more pressing than Anton Zerb's assignment. Well, I need to restock. I'm sure you do. Whose wares would you like to look over? Oh, lots of stuff to explore over here. Sure, let's start with the Scintillan Missions wares. Okay, so a fair bit of shopping that might need doing over here. I'm not sure. The first thing I look at is something we can just barely afford. The Executioner's Bolter. But it's like, yeah, do we go ahead and pick up a multi-key, for example? Universal lockpicking tool. Probably not a bad idea to grab a couple of those. Why not some Melta charges while we're at it? No, let's get some multi-keys. That feels more kind of fitting and in character. And we do have a bit of junk that isn't worth anything. This was automatically picked up from the previous area as we left it. And I'm not yet ready to get rid of any of my equipment, I don't think. So, sure, let's just hand off some cash, pick up some goods, and there seem to be reputations to worry about. Cool. So this is being carried over a little bit in some ways, I suppose, from Rogue Trader, but their reputation carried a lot more weight because when you're playing as a Rogue Trader, someone with the economic backing of a trade empire, you don't really worry about individual coins, right? But here, we're just an acolyte, so money does matter, but reputation, it seems, will make a difference as well. Presumably making things cheaper and all that. Cool, okay. Well, hey, I'm not going to do all my shopping right now. But let's see. You know what? We'll speak to him later. I must go. Let's see if we can't get a hold of this gun cutter first. There's our entire group down here. And there's the verdict. It makes it feel like this is us leaving. Ready to embark? No, not quite yet. Okay, you know what? I'm getting the very strong vibe that if we take the gun cutter into our service, it pushes us into some next thing. So instead, I wonder if we investigate some of these other quests first, or if this is the gateway to some of these other quests. Let's see. They have come for us. The clues and markings left aboard Schultes' Valor by its executioners are gone, along with the Iocanthos itself. In order to convince the members of the Tyrantine Cabal of this new danger looming over Scintilla and the presence of a dark force hiding within the system, the acolyte must gather as much evidence as possible. We must keep a sharp eye out for any dark signs. Even minor details may hold clues to the corrupting influence of the Imperium's enemies. It is the acolyte's duty to attend to his surroundings and uncover the true nature of any strange events or phenomena. Okay, so that's sort of a broad strokes mission. This, applies continuously, it seems. Echo of the Unearthed. Inquisitor Millicentilla and Battle Sister Septima are in the Maris Portum Sectoris, one of the lower hab zones of Hive Sibyllus. Lord Inquisitor Anton Zerb has instructed the acolyte to travel to Maris Portum to assist the representatives of the Tyrantine Cabal. We need to head to the lower hab zone for this one. Fair enough, so that requires us to leave. And then there's the Blood of the Martyr. The acolyte has been dispatched to the Lucid Palace to participate in the efforts to uncover the existence of an alleged cell of enemies of the Imperium complicit in heretical beliefs and deeds. And here we have to head up to the upper levels of the Hive City Sibyllus, known as the Spires, where all the nobility live. Fair enough. In that case, it sounds like we take the gun cutter into our service and move towards one of these missions. Looks as though we've done everything there is to do then on the Bastion. And we can take the gun cutter and make our way out to where? Which of these two do I wish to tackle first? Something for me to think about between this session and the next. Folks, this is where we're going to go ahead and call it. Seems as though we do in fact have to board the ship and make our way out, and this seems like a great place to take a pause. Next episode will be coming out in the next handful of days, hopefully. Again, as I mentioned at the end of the previous episode, I am currently, at the time of recording, out of country, or at the time of release, I should say, out of country, which means I've pre-recorded a couple of episodes in the hopes of keeping this series going while I'm away, but the number of episodes and the gaps between them will have been determined entirely by how much I was able to record before I had to make my way to the airport. Nonetheless, hopefully we have a few more episodes coming. Keep your eyes peeled and maybe subscribe to the channel so you get a notification when that episode does drop. But so far, I'm having a good time. I like a good kind of investigative RPG, and that's exactly what we're getting over here. Some mysteries to solve, potentially. One that we're foregoing. You know what? Again, yes, there's this whole scavenger mystery going on. Let's leave it be for the time being and stay engaged with some of our main quest plot lines, as it were. Again, this is just the beta. My intention is just to play a few, maybe a handful of episodes, and then wait for the game to release in full before engaging with it in full. But again, if y'all feel differently, let me know down below. But apart from that, as always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.